Let's talk a little theta. I sent myself this article, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, roughly on the 12th. But that was right when I was going out of town and everything. Anyways, I said, well, when I get back, it's not like breaking news. Oh my God, theta, get it. If you don't have theta, get it now. It's not that. But this is one more step towards greatness for the cryptocurrency known as theta. And this should prove to you that in a period of time, not anytime soon, this thing should be freaking great. And this is from their Medium site page, Theta Labs. Theta protocol in smart TVs, the next step in global video and data delivery. We've put a lot of thought into how to navigate our way towards onboarding a critical volume of nodes contributing in the Theta network to power all types of data delivery, starting from video data first and eventually expanding into general data types. A key focus has been the fast-growing smart TV market from leading manufacturers. Now, you know they already have a deal with Samsung VR, so their first one, like Samsung Electronics, LG Electronics, Sony, Hisense, TCL, Panasonic, Vizio, and others. Smart TVs, internet-enabled TVs that offer a variety of streaming services and other apps have become the dominant type of new TV sales. Smart TVs represent 67% of all TVs sold in 2018, totaling 157 million TVs in all. These TVs run on operating systems like, in order to of current market share, Tizen, which is Samsung, that's what theirs is called, Android, WebOS, which is LG, Roku OS, and Fire TV, Amazon. Over 150 million Americans used connected TVs as of 2016, a number which is expected to increase to nearly 200 million by 2021, and in the majority of households. For the Theta protocol to achieve mass adoption, it is critical that Theta can simply and effectively integrate with smart TVs and their apps. To that end, our first Theta integration with smart TVs focuses on TVs running on Android and Samsung's Tizen operating systems. To give a quick glimpse into what we've done in terms of integration, we made a number of low-level protocol modifications to our Android mobile SDK to port Theta to operate on Android TV OS and soon on Samsung Tizen. In the video, we show our test area and a number of TVs and TV set-top boxes running Theta on a sliver.tv stream. The outputted logs provide some insight into the processing that happens on the device, allowing it to be a functioning node in the Theta network. So let me stop for a second. Right now, in order for me or you, let's say, to be a functioning node in the Theta network, remember when they were trialing sliver.tv and they said, oh, open your browser, you got to have this little plug-in thing or add-on, whatever, go to sliver TV, just let your browser run and you'll earn these little, Theta fuel tokens. It's just testing, blah, blah, blah. Remember that? And then they said, okay, we're now going to release this actual software you can install on your computer, like a wallet-looking thing, even though it's not really a wallet. And it's known as the pre-Guardian node, Theta Guardian node. There's pre-Guardian node, or PGN, which I'm running one of those. I've told you this the last 2 months I got one, But I had to go do that. I had to install it. So for the average jabroni, are they going to know this? Are they going to be made aware of this and want to go do this, go put it on my computer? I got to leave my computer running all the time. Oh, it shut down, but when it came back up, the Theta thing didn't turn on, right? So if you're Theta, how the heck do we get this thing to where it's like kind of like running, but no one even knows or cares? Oh, let's put it in a smart TV. It's already there. It's already built in. So imagine Theta putting this into a TV, smart TV, as one of the apps or whatever, and it just runs in the background. Now, I don't know. Maybe I'll read here in a minute. We'll find out. But I don't know if it's going to say. Me as the smart TV owner, do I have to go into the apps? Hey, your TV comes with a Theta, application called Theta. By allowing us to use your bandwidth and blah, 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 you can earn Theta fuel. Click here to enable this. Oh, yeah, okay. Or is it just going to run in the background and you're just going to see something that says, we may use a little bit of your bandwidth for streaming option. Are you okay with this? Yeah, whatever. And you move on. one way or the other, it's going to be on that TV. You're not going to have to go download this thing. What's my wallet address? Put this over here. Move that to this. Prove that you own it. Like, it's just going to, you're up, new TV. I'm now a node. And now TVs, again, it's all broadband. Like here at my house, I'm on fiber optic. Cable TV is no different. It's coming in through, in my case, fiber optic, whether it was internet or not, it's coming through that line. And it's data. Data is data. Whether it's video data or just internet data, you know, data, so to speak, it doesn't matter. Once it comes into the house, oh, this channel or this stream, if you will, is TV content, and this stream is for your data, your high-speed internet. Again, cable does the same thing. They can send a different megahertz for streaming video stuff to your set-top boxes for you to watch TV, and they have another channel within that same cable, that same coax, that is for internet. So just to throw this out there, I don't know what they are, but it could be like 533 megahertz is for TV stuff, and 333 megahertz is for data, and that's how they might do it on cable. It's already happening. Therefore, for you to use a little bit of your bandwidth to stream to other people around you, this is going to be the biggest like node mesh network you may have ever seen. At some point, no other wallet, no other crypto is going to even be able to compete with the amount of nodes that Theta will have, because they're building the freaking thing into smart TVs. You still have an opportunity today at 12 point something cents Theta. This is the same price it has been bouncing around with since the damn thing came out in like February, I think, of 2018 or late January, February. And then I heard about it through Michelle White Dove and all that stuff, and it was like March, and I told you guys about it. It was between 11 point something and like 13 when I started gobbling up a lot of it, and I told you guys about it. Same price range. Basically 12.5 cents. It's where it has always been. You've had an opportunity to buy Theta for basically the same price. Yeah, it's come down. Remember when everything crashed in 2018 December? Theta was like 5 and 6 cents. Yes, so was everything else way down. But generally speaking, it's 12 and 13 cents. Imagine knowing what Bitcoin did and saying, oh yeah, it was a few cents back in 2009, and watching it for 2 years, or a year, in this case a year and a half, stay at 2 cents. Except you know what you know now. Oh my God, I want as many as I can get, right? And also got some data. I told you I had some goals set, and I was not stopping until I met those goals. So, testing with the actual hardware from our partners we work with allows us to shift away from hypothetical scenarios and demonstrate actual working results. We're able to go from saying Theta works on smart TVs and TV boxes to Theta runs on the latest Sony Bravia TV and the LG U Plus set-top box. And that is how we get market adoption at scale. Exactly what I just said. No other wallet node in the world, in my opinion, but I think I can back that up by what I just said, will have as many running nodes, which is all a wallet is. When you download the Litecoin Core wallet or the Bitcoin Core wallet or the Redcoin Core wallet, you are a node. And as transactions are happening, your node is being updated with everybody else's who's running one. You're part of the network. But you have to go download it. You have to know of it, right? This is going to be put on every freaking TV at some point, practically. I told you, this company is brilliant. When they started this, and I watched their progress, they had their little timeline. By the end of 2018, we want to be here. By the very beginning of 2019, we're going to do this. Oh, no, wait, we're backing off. We're working with our partner Sony and some other ones. They want us to add some features. So we're not going to release this node yet for everybody. So we're going to back off on that. About 4 months, we'll put it out there so that we can get some stuff done for them and make it even better before we release it. And I said that's the first time I ever saw them kick something back, but they did it for the right reason. They didn't just say, oh, we're running behind. They said we are purposely stopping, and we're going to work with these people. And again, I'm going to sit here and tell you, they were probably, excuse me, working on stuff like this, smart TV stuff that they weren't even allowed to talk about, in my opinion, because it was just a few months ago that they essentially released their node for us to download. So yeah, that is how we get market adoption at scale. Because the hardware in these smart TVs and TV set-top boxes are specifically designed for video streaming, integrating THETA to augment some of the applications for operating in a mesh network was a logical step to take. Most TVs these days are basically mini computers and can handle all types of entertainment uses the average person may use a computer for, such as browsing the internet, watching movies, playing games. It's now standard for most TVs to come with at least 2 gigabytes of RAM, 1.5 to 2 gigahertz worth of CPU with a quad-core or even octa-core processors, and at least 16 gigabyte of local storage disk space. Now hold on, because remember on the pre-Guardian node, they want you to have at least a few hundred gigabytes of free space, quad-core type of processor, super fast internet, all this good hardware. But they're going to need to use some of your hard drive space to store some of the video streaming content and whatnot. But on a smart TV, they're not going to be able to use so much of their hard drive space for that. However, they only need to stream pieces of streams, small amounts of streams potentially, not the entire movie downloaded to your smart TV. So here's the other thing. What if they do need to do that? Well, actually, we do need to spread out the entire video file amongst a bunch of smart TVs. Well, let's just say a high-quality movie is 5 gigabytes. Because, again, you got compression and stuff that they're using these days. Let's just say it's 5 gigabytes. One full-length movie, you want to watch it high def, it's 5 gigabytes. Does that mean that all these TVs that are streaming this same video to other people, they all have a 5 gigabyte copy on every single TV? How about no? How about, just to make this simple, you use 1 gigabyte on your TV, the other person somewhere not too far from you in your city somewhere has another gigabyte, not the same gigabyte worth of the video. So in other words, let's say there's gigabyte number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and all that whole 5 gigabyte file, let's say, that's the video, but gigabyte 1 is only 20% of the entire video, right? The second gigabyte is that 20 to 40%. That third gigabyte is the 40 to 60%. You follow me? So I've got the first 1 gigabyte. Your neighbor down there, he's got the second gigabyte. Somebody else in Tampa has the 3rd gigabyte. Somebody else has the 4th gigabyte. Somebody else has the 5th. So now we've spread a 5 gigabyte file across 5 different smart TVs, but they're only sharing 1 gig of that video. So as the video is played, well, the first gigabyte has to play first, right? Because gigabyte number 1 is the beginning of the video. So if I'm gigabyte 1, mine starts streaming. By the time we get to gigabyte 2 time, the other TVs that had number 2, they start streaming it. My TV stops streaming it now because my gigabyte's done, so to speak. And that's 5 PCs in Tampa Bay, right? Tampa, Florida, or TV sets. 1 gigabyte each, 5 TVs. There are millions of people over here. So that same exact example where I have 1 gigabyte, that person has 2 gigabyte, that one has the 3rd gigabyte, replicate that 500 times. There's 500 TVs out there that have gigabyte number 1. There's 500 TVs out there, or let's just say 100 because we're just talking 500 TVs. 100 TVs has 1 gigabyte. The next 100 TVs has the 2nd gigabyte. The next 100 TVs has the 3rd gigabyte. So as each part of that needs to be streamed out, you have 100 people sending pieces of their whatever number gigabyte to whoever needs to view that video at that moment. A mesh network, a very effective. And you don't need to store 5 gigabytes on one person's smart TV. They only got 16 gigabytes or 8 gigabytes. Yeah, so let's just use one of it up. Or, again, make it smaller. We don't even need to use a gigabyte, Joe. What are we talking about? We're going to put 100 megabytes, so 1/10 of a gigabyte. We're going to put 100 megabytes on all TVs, for one particular video or whatever. Again, maybe there's 100 of this video, 100 megabytes of that video. Next thing you know, you got a gigabyte, but it's 10 different pieces of videos, and you're streaming, pieces. It's going to just work out through this mesh network, peer-to-peer type of a system through a mesh network. It's going to be incredible. So those of us that have the pre-Guardian node with THETA coins, and you get your THETA fuel from that, what are those things going to be worth at some point? And as we mine them, or we're not really mining them, but we're allowing our streams to be used, like out of this computer I have, and getting paid with Theta Fuel. But in my opinion, you're going to see Theta act as like, this is the stock, this is the share of the company. Theta Fuel is kind of like a little mini dividend payout, so to speak, okay, for anyone sharing their streams. And yeah, so everybody that has a smart TV, maybe you can sign up and earn, small amounts or whatever. But those of us that bought Theta, not Theta Fuel, Theta, might be rewarded massively later on as this company grows and becomes absolutely epic, and other companies out there say, wow, why are we wasting all the space on hard drives in a data center, personnel costs, bandwidth costs, all these fees? Hey Theta, can we work with you guys and you can just start streaming our stuff, and can we just can you give us an API and we plug in and now our content's all over all these smart TVs? Yeah, sure, no problem. For a fee. Of course. Companies got to get paid, obviously. And it's now taking what we currently do now, like I said from the beginning, and taking it next level peer-to-peer transfer streaming. And it's not just going to be video. You can do files, pictures, audio. It doesn't matter. Data is data. You could literally, cloud computing, sign up for OneDrive, Microsoft, or sign up for whatever to store your stuff online. Imagine when the whole freaking world has millions of smart TVs, ultimately billions at some point, and you can just store stuff online. Again, like OneDrive. Why are we setting up all these data centers? Let's just use the Theta protocol and store pieces of all this people's private data. Again, it's going to be encrypted and pieces will be stored on smart boxes, but it'll be encrypted. So it's not like someone could open their TV up. Oh, what stuff's being stored on my TV? It's going to be all encrypted. It won't matter. You're just acting as a mini piece of a giant hard drive. So if a data center goes down, a massive fire happens, something happened, the computers crashed, redundancy, whatever, it just failed, there goes all your stuff, you're finished. In a network like Theta, peer-to-peer mesh network across the freaking planet, massive amounts of systems could go down, and your pieces of your information are going to be all over the place because it's going to be replicated. And you know what I mean? I can just see, this to me is a vision of years from now, way different than we do things now. It's going to be freaking epic. And I think you will see Michelle Whitedove saying, when she said this thing is going to be like $1,000 or more for one Theta coin. It's going to be years from now, she said, but when it happens, it's going to be epic. And she said also, as an update later on, what she was getting is we're going to see Theta go through a process. It'll get started at some point. And once it gets started, you'll see it continue. And that starting is, it goes up a 10x. Which would be approximately $1.20 something, $1.25 right now, if it went up a 10x at 12.5 cents. Now you have $1.25 Theta. A year or so goes by, another 10x. $1.25 turns to $12.25. Oh my God, another 10x. A year or two later, $12.25, $12 times 10, $120. Then what? Well, technically 125. One more 10x and you're over 1,000. It only needs the 10x 3 times. 10x to the next one, 10x to that one, 10x to that one. And again, I'm not going to sit here and say I expected this to be Michelle Whitedove. It's been 2 years now, 3 years. What's going? No, she said this is going to be. She goes, she said I'm not 100% sure of the timing, but I think in 5 years from now, this thing's going to make some people rich. You're going to have a lot of money. But what if in 5 years, it's only done the first or second, I don't think it'll be the first, the second 10x. So we get ready to see the dollar something move here in the near future, the next year or so. And then another year, year and a half, 2 years, whatever, the next 10x happens. Now we're at $12. So in other words, 2.5 years from now, we're at the freaking $12 price on Theta. On something that's been sitting here begging you to have some at 12.5 cents. Do you remember when Litecoin was 12.5 cents? Maybe you don't. I do. January 2013. That was not that long ago if you really think about it. Especially considering, let's look back at 2017 when Litecoin went from $3 by the end of the year to over 400 on Coinbase, roughly 372 across the board. 372. $3, 372. 1 year's time. However, you bought in at 12 cents back in, again, 2017, 16, 15, 14, 13, just 4 measly years prior. 4 stinking measly years prior, you bought some Litecoin, a bunch of it, at 12 cents. Now you're watching it in January of 2017 at $3, and you're like, huh, I'm rich. I've got a lot of money. And something told you, don't sell yet. Because if it did that, where else could it go? And you waited, and you watched it go to 100, 150, 2, 250, 3. You probably sold before that at that point, if that was you. Now you're filthy freaking rich. Then we had the crash. 2018, bear market. 2019, bear market. Up, there it goes. Starting to go into bull territory. 10,000 Bitcoin. We're over 10K now. $140 Litecoin has happened. Again, we hit 140 not that long ago. This year, like a month ago, whatever it was. I always say this. These coins, many of them, especially if they're going to stick around. If they're not a shit coin, you can expect them to go from pennies, dollars, tens of dollars, hundreds of dollars, and maybe even thousands. Bitcoin did it. Ethereum did it, although it got to a little over, what was it, 14, 1500? Still over 1,000 for a thing that was worth pennies at 1.2. Litecoin has not been thousands yet, but it certainly got to the hundreds. So it did the pennies, the dollars, the tens of dollars, and the hundreds. Hasn't did the thousands yet. You know it's going to happen. Theta, keeping in mind, Bitcoin was 2009 created. Litecoin was 2011 created. Digibyte, which has been around for a while too, by the way, has been less than a penny recently. I had to buy some more just because. And that's another coin that I could say this about. But let's talk about Theta. It was just created last year. Came out last year. It's a year and a few months old. 6 months old. Year and a half. And it's still the same price. Pennies, dollars, tens of dollars, hundreds of dollars, and sometimes thousands. I'm pretty sure you will not be upset if Theta can only, for some reason, get to the hundreds of dollars part and doesn't go any better than that. Sorry, guys. Your 12.5 cent Theta is now worth $105. That's as good as it gets. Where I'm going to sell out to. I'm out of here. 12.5 cent something now worth 100 plus each. Are you going to be upset? Matter of fact, you're saying right now, Joe, dude, if it was $10, I'd be kissing the floor. I'd be kissing the floor if it was $10. I'm with you. I'd be down there kissing it with you. So, anyways, that was kind of just a hair more than that, but that's it. Well, might as well finish it, just in case there's a little tidbit here you want to hear. Just a couple more paragraphs, small ones. So again, talks about the size, 16 gigabyte storage on these TVs, not to mention the custom-made processors that are manufactured specifically to support rendering crisp 4K and even 8K picture quality. And because the Theta native core is not compute intensive, running it on TVs with these specs is totally seamless. TVs become relay nodes that are effectively on the edge of the edge network, and onboarding hundreds of thousands to millions of these devices could significantly bolster Theta's network capacity. We are currently working on the first example of a consumer smart TV app that can relay video content over the Theta network, and we'll be revealing more about this in the near future. Needless to say, it's a big step toward our vision of hundreds of millions of connected devices worldwide participating in Theta's decentralized data delivery network and earning T-Fuel for their network contributions. Stay tuned for more updates soon and more opportunities to get involved and contribute to the Theta network. Theta, Theta. You still have time at 12.5 cents. I'm as patient as they come, my friends. And I don't care if Theta stays at 12.5 cents all the rest of this year. And Bitcoin goes up and Litecoin goes up. And Joe, man, Theta's still sitting there. That's one thing you won't be prying from my cold dead hands. I will be waiting patiently as ever for Theta to start getting moving. And remember what one thing Sharon Michelle had said? She sees when this Theta gets going like over 40 cents or so, that's when it starts going. And if you're not in by then, you're going to miss out. You better get some. So that hasn't happened yet. We've not seen 40 cent Theta. We did get in the 20s. I think we got the 28, maybe 30 cents one time. Wonder if, take a quick little peek. Just out of curiosity. I'm pretty sure, let's see, Theta, that it was close to 30, if not touching 30, 31, something like that. Theta, 12.6 cents. There's March. When it first came out, it ran up to 29 cents really quickly. Ran up again, 15, 17. And that was this year. It's been as low again when the bottom was in 5 cents. 5 cents. But yeah, so it got to 29 as the all-time high, and that was right after it came out in 29.1 cents in January 26, 2018. So it was right after the ICO, which we all missed, which is okay, doesn't matter, because we got ours at 11 and 12 cents and 13 cents, most of us. And now it's just been pretty stable. So having said that, looking at some of these other coins that have been completely destroyed, have a little bit of value left, they're trying to work their way back up. Theta, again, it's back at the same price we got in on it. That's not a bad thing to be all upset about. Like, it's still worth what you got. Many of these coins are not worth what many people bought them for. Many people are multiples down on some of the stuff they're in. So again, I'm totally fine waiting. But that's a very good article. Yes, it's a couple weeks old. I don't care. Bottom line is, pay attention to this stuff. Listen to old Snip. When it comes to Theta especially, I'm pretty sure I know what I'm talking about with this one. And Michelle White Dove is going to be shown to be, oh my God, of everything that has ever come out of that woman's mouth, crypto related, no one will remember anything else other than White Dove, Theta. White Dove, yeah, but she doesn't matter. Theta. White Dove, but that doesn't matter. Theta. Because like she said, when Pete called her back that first time, hey, Michelle, you wanted me to call you? She never wants me to call her. You want me to call her? Yes, Pete. Theta. Spirit told me, Theta coin. I heard Spirit. Theta's going to make you rich, Pete. That's the one. You got to get that one. How do we get it? I want to get some too. Help me get it. Let me go look at it. I don't know how to get it. Let me call my friend Joe, J Snip. And that's when it all started. New friendships, partnerships, whatever, not really partnerships, whatever. Friendships. And I was so glad just for the information of telling me an epic coin in the future, that'll be very epic. I'm going to bring you hardware wallets for free for you, Shantae, and your husband Jay. And I'm going to drive my ass all the way down there, Fort Lauderdale area, and come visit you and set you up. I don't want anything. And I got there and they had steaks and lobsters ready. Anyways, awesome. But I didn't care about that, honestly. I was all business. I'm very appreciative of that information, and I'm going to come hook you up and help you out. And if you need anything related to crypto, you just let me know. That's what I said. Take care.